Hello, Coach Fisher. Jimbo, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, Coach. I want to talk to you. I want to apologize to you. Pick up the phone. I want to apologize to you. It's me. Hey, welcome to Coach One Sports. Yours truly, Coach Kevin Bull Jones. Yes, I'm back, and I just want to share a few moments with you. I want to talk about that phone call that on the other end of that never happened. Coach Saban made a call apologizing to Coach Fisher. He didn't want to take it. A man can do whatever a man wants to do, how he feels about a situation, but that's where we are now. So if you enjoy the show, please make sure that you comment, make sure that you share with other friends, but more importantly, hit that button and make sure that you can subscribe to what I'm about to talk about, because I'm bringing it to you from a coach's standpoint, just as coaches, how we dealing with each other. And then just remember, we're teaching young men how to be bigger men in that game of life. At least that's what we're supposed to be doing. So here we got it. Coach Saban kicked over an ant pile. Stuff went crazy 2 weeks ago. Smoke is still in the air. Some people are still in their feelings. But one thing I will say, I can respect how Coach Saban did turn around and make amends by apologized publicly. He apologized at the SEC meetings down in Destin. Boy, that's a beautiful place. Okay, let me get back to you. He even called out to Coach Prime. Coach Prime said he wanted to address this matter in a public forum instead of since it was done publicly, he wants to address it publicly. I think that's an awesome way for two men to converge on a hot topic, one that's sensitive to all coaches on the collegiate level. And sports fans, for those of you all that are high school coaches of whatever particular field or sport, and you get a chance to interact with collegiate recruiters when they come to your schools, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a hot topic. It's one that bothers everybody. It makes them uncomfortable because, the gates are flooded. The Pandora's box is open, and this is what we have. The NCAA has stepped back and let the chaos begin. And who's it going to affect? It affects everybody, okay? Yes, the transfer portal, and now this. You got two whammies coming, like an Ali Frazier fight. So back to what happened. I don't have to tell you what happened. Everybody knows about it in America by now. But let me give you some strategic points that need to be thought about on this whole situation. First of all, some people didn't feel comfortable with the way Coach Saban came out of his mouth and talked about implicating things. Okay, fine. I get that. But respect the man who's trying to teach young men how to become better men, and he apologized for what he said. And he even called out Coach Fisher. Coach Fisher, instead of answering the phone, and then at that point, since you got Coach Saban on the phone, how about you tell him to his face that he's despicable and all narcissistic and all these other things that you were feeling at that time? Okay, why didn't you just square up and tell him to his face? Or more importantly, when you calmed down and you felt better about the situation, you've calmed down because you are a great coach and we are human. We all get mad about things and we do get in our feelings about things that touch us, especially because if you all had a working relationship at one point in time. Yes, things can get hot. I get it. I got it. But when the smoke clears, when you've had your woosah moment, pick up the phone and now we can talk. In fact, how about you, Coach Prime, and Coach Saban all get together in the forum and talk about these things? Because, yes, it does affect every major college coach in collegiate football and other sports as well. Okay, so it affects everybody. There's a lot of stuff going on that you guys as coaches have no control over. Are you breaking the rules? Of course not. Okay, There are no rules. How about that? There are no rules. It's amazing what the NCAA allows to happen when they were afraid that, you Power 5 conferences were going to leave and start your own organization. It's amazing what they said here. You have it. All right. You fix the mess. We're going to monitor it, but we're not going to really monitor it. We're just going to monitor it, but we're going to let it go for a couple of years first. Then we'll think about some measures of putting some rules in place. But until then, you all have at it. So you're right. No rules have been broken. Feelings hurt. Yes. Coach Fisher did a great job of recruiting. Okay. He used to be on Coach Saban's staff back in 2015. He's been head coach, national champion as well. Okay, he's enjoyed the fruits of his labor. Successful coach, awesome coordinator, and great recruiter, and a national champion. Okay, so with that being said, the common denominator is the control. Point one, control. Why is Coach Saban upset? Well, here's the deal. Dabo Swinney said it first over a year ago. He said this whole NIL thing is going to be chaos, and I'm probably going to have to I will get away from this stuff because I'm not buying it. Okay, nobody hooped and hollered when he said that. Okay, he shows up at the Raiders games this past football season, dressed in all black. I saw it with my own eyes. I was there, and nobody said a thing. But of course, he's still at Clemson where he is. But he mentioned how bad this thing could be. It wasn't Coach Saban from the get-go, okay? It was Dabo Swinney, Coach Swinney, okay? It wasn't Coach Fisher, okay? So with that being said, nobody, really raised an eyebrow and just figured, well, maybe Coach Swinney's just going off on one of his rants, his Nan Boo-Boo moment, but nobody really gave it any weight. So now we get to this moment when all of this happens. And yes, Coach Saban kicked the ant pile, okay? And people said, ouch. But prior to that, Coach Saban had already said, we need to have some kind of parity in this thing. And everybody got mad. Everybody said, how can you say you want parity when you're getting all the big dogs? Well, guess what? He at least said there's a problem. He at least said we need to fix some things. He kept saying, hey, fellas, I smell some smoke over here. We got some problems. Nobody wanted to give Coach Saban that credit. He didn't get everybody's attention. They thought that he was feeling a certain kind of way because, now everybody's going to be able to get the same kids he gets. Well, listen, we do need some type of legislation, something. We need an arm of something to control the madness because they're collectives. And I'll just tell you, they're people that are extorting these universities and they're putting these kids in tough situations to make decisions. Okay, so now all of a sudden it's not about the great coach coming into a high school and coming into a player's home and saying, listen, I'm going to help your son become a great young man, productive a citizen in society. Oh, and by the way, he's possibly going to get drafted. He comes to my school, and if he busts his tail and be the best player that he can be, the best part of him he can be. All right. All of a sudden, that doesn't work anymore. It's how much money. So, with that being said, let me leave it here. A very important thing that everybody's leaving out in this whole scenario is what happens. Why are we giving kids all this money and they haven't played a collegiate down or scored a basket? They hadn't played not one game. Why are we giving them all this money? Why are we allowing the floodgates to start? And this kid hasn't played not one play in the game. How about we do this? And I just want to, it wasn't my idea, but I heard it. And I want to give a shout out to Sam Crenshaw down here in the ATL, sports reporter here, Channel 69, and a great ambassador to the sport, does high school football scoreboard stuff down here in the ATL, and a wonderful man and a person in the athletic community here in Metro Atlanta. I heard him say this, so I'm going to give him the credit. He said, why don't we just cut out giving the kids the NILs while they're in high school about to go to college? How about let them get into college and play a year? And I might be paraphrasing it, but nevertheless, I want to give credit to that thought process, because why are we giving kids all this money that haven't played a down yet? Because yes, now you have these moments of ant piles getting kicked and people getting in their feelings. The worst part of this whole scenario for me, it wasn't what Coach Saban said. It was how Coach Fisher reacted, And oh, by the way, I don't hear any players calling saying or making Twitter comments or Instagram or social media posts saying, "Hey, listen, Coach Fisher did," who's coming to his defense? I'm gonna leave it there, because I know a lot of players have come to Coach Saban's defense. Okay, now nobody's perfect, and we're talking about three great men: Coach Prime, Coach Saban, Coach Jimbo Fisher. Yes, you guys stand at the on the mountaintop of where you are in your profession. But I'll leave it here. Coach Fisher, please get on the phone. Let's talk. Get on the phone. Let's talk. Let's talk this out. Because guess who's watching how you deal with it? And we as coaches tell our players, 10% is what happens, 90% is how you deal with it. Okay, yes, the Commissioner Swanky slapped everybody on the head and said, chill out with all this foolishness. Let's get back to thinking about the business of football in the SEC. Yes, he did. But in the meantime, you still got your whole organization there, Texas A&M, your players, your athletic administrator, everybody's still watching you, Coach Fisher, on how you deal with adversity. All right, wasn't pretty. I understand why you're upset, but you did have the man who you worked under and worked for did try to apologize to you, did try to say, okay, hey, I went sideways, maybe what I was said is taken out of context, but let me at least explain myself. Let's talk. We don't have to agree, but I want to talk, because so you'll know where I came from. You won't even give Coach Saban that. That I have a problem with, because you got 85 kids on scholarship, probably another 25 to 30 walk-ons, PWOs, preferred walk-ons, and you got kids, you got off the field people that work for you, on the field coaches. You got everybody watching. How do you deal with adversity? That's what I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, I want to still give the flowers to the coaches that do what they do. This ain't a bashing video. If you watch the rest of my shows, you know that's not my MO. But I really would like for you guys to get together. Okay, this can create something healthy for everybody, because this NIL situation has been let loose for a reason. And there aren't a lot of good intentions about it. There are some good intentions about it, but there are more bad intentions that can occur. All right, Coach Fisher, you have the #1 recruiting class in the nation. Good luck to you on your season. Okay, October 8th, you're going to Tuscaloosa. The world will be watching. Everybody's going to get their popcorn ready and watch the show. But when the game is over with, the greatest part I like to see is you two men as leaders of your program just get together and have I'm not going to say a kumbaya moment, just shake hands and say, hey, great 3 hours of battling. Okay, and that's what we want, because this whole thing with the NIL, it's really a creature that you all can't control, and that's what it is. Coach Prime, HBCU level. I'm a graduate of HBCU, Norfolk State University, so I understand. It's black college football. Now the conversations are getting bigger. Allow them to get bigger, and allow them to have a forum. And let's talk about this. Get back on the phone, Coach Fisher. We need you on the phone, because your players are watching you. Coach Saban's players watching him. Coach Prime players are watching him as well. Let's get back. All right. Punch has been thrown. Apologies been sent out. Now, can we get back to football? That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Coach One Sports with yours truly, Coach Kevin Bull Jones. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I take those comments and I will respond. But when it's all said and done, we still got to play some football, but it's not how you deal with things when everything's going well. It's in those times of adversity. Dr. Martin Luther King said that. A man be judged by when those adverse times come. Coach Fisher, this is a tough time. Stop the name calling. Now let's get back to the table and be men. And let's agree as brothers that, okay, we need to have some dialogue. Coach Prime hinted to it. Watch what happens, Coach Fisher. I bet you they get together and they're going to have a big open forum. Hopefully you're in there as well. Because you know why? You deserve to be in there. Somebody needs to lead this change, or at least be able to make sure this whole NIL deal doesn't go haywire and some kids get hurt in the end. I appreciate y'all watching Coach One Sports with yours truly, Coach Kevin Bull Jones. We'll talk later. Pick up the phone. Peace. See you later.